Hi, this is Ruth Theresa with One Inspiring Woman, and today we're talking Moonology because Moonology is going to be affecting our 4th of July plans. Definitely. So on the 3rd of July, we have our full moon in the sign of Capricorn. And because it's going to be literally still full, it's going to be like 98% full on July 4th, it is going to be affecting our 4th of July plans. I know, it sounds weird, but it's true. Probably because it's going to be 98% full, so it's still going to be really, really huge in the sky. And so if you are looking at fireworks displays and stuff like that and the moon is around, it's going to make them feel not as bright as they normally do. If you're just looking at a completely moonless sky, it's going to feel not as bright. It's not going to feel like you're getting like the full effect of it. Kind of almost like something's wrong here. But I guarantee you everybody's going to be feeling this full moon in the sign of Capricorn. So let's talk Capricorn energy. Capricorn is all about like feeling useful and feeling like you need this outside justification or this pat on the back from everybody else to say like, yes, you've done a great job, or yes, you're doing a great job in the world, in your neighborhood, in your community, in your state, whatever it is. You're going to be looking for that little extra pat on the back. But I guarantee you it's going to come up with some resentment as well. Almost like, I've been doing this and no one's been patting me on the back. Or looking for outside, kind of like that outside person to tell you, yes, you've been doing a good job. And you may not get that. So that could bring up a lot of resentment, a lot of like, this doesn't feel good. But I guarantee you it's something that we've got to let go of, which kind of brings in our energy from our full moon. Our full moon is all about like letting things go, releasing and letting that energy go. And it's kind of this great spiritual thing that happens every month. It does, because it's all about like what's been blocking me since the last full moon, what's been getting in my way that I haven't let go of. Sometimes that's like old way of thinking or old issues. Now, I would tell you, I was on the phone not too long ago talking to a client, and she was like, my aunt keeps coming up with all these excuses why she can't come and visit me. She's been in her house for like 3 or 4 months, and her aunt is always like, got an ear infection, she's got throat issues, she's got this problem, that problem, she's not able to, she's got sinus issues, she's got a pink eye, whatever it is. And I was like, that's all your aunt stuff of like not wanting to move forward. Seeing you in your new house is seeing you move forward. And if she's not moving forward, it's bringing up that resentment of, oh my gosh, I'm not moving forward. So that's kind of the interesting part with all of this is letting that go. Things are going well. And I will say, if your aunt was my client, I would be like, yes, let's talk about this and get this to a new healed state. And there are some great rituals that can help you really work through some of this. And sometimes they're small, sometimes they're huge. It just really depends on what's going on with you. That kind of like, where have you been looking for that pat on the back with Capricorn moon? Where have you been looking for that justification of what you're doing in the world? If you've been looking for that too much, it's one of those, it's kind of making you look at everybody else in an interesting way when you shouldn't be. You should be looking at what's going on in your life. So that's where you could kind of like, do I need to do a big ceremony or a little ceremony? That's kind of the interesting part with all of this. Now, I will tell you kind of one of the interesting parts is, if you have had a lot of stuff where you're looking for justification or that pat on the back from other people, this is going to be a large ceremony. What I would do is kind of like set up a place where you're kind of like, what are you ready to let go of? And if you're kind of looking for someone else's approval on things, that's what I would let go of. I'm looking for so-and-so's A's approval on this, and so I'm going to let that go, and I'm going to give myself approval. What is it that I really want A to tell me, person A to tell me? So it's kind of like, I would like them to tell me that I'm doing a good job, so I'm going to tell myself I'm doing a good job. Maybe person B is one that I really want, like their gloating or their attention. So let me give that to myself. What is it that I want them to say that I'm doing good of? What is it that I'm saying to, I'm saying like I want them to say, but I can say it to myself. That can bring in so much healing. so much healing, and working through this. And I will tell you, just because the moon is full on July 3rd doesn't mean you can't working a couple of days in advance. So it's one of those, I would literally start like the end of June, and kind of like bringing this energy forward. But whenever you see this video, make sure that you're taking time to really like, yes, this is where I really want to go with this. This is where I want to be with this energy, and allowing that energy to come forward. That is really what's going to help you. Now, if it was a small thing where I'm kind of looking for approval of like maybe my boss or my spouse, that might be something where I might do a little bit less of this, because it's one of those, we do want our spouse's approval. We do want our boss's approval. So maybe it's one of those, I'm not looking for it as intently because I'm giving it to myself. So that really makes a difference of what we're looking at in our world, and how are we kind of making those decisions for what's going on with us. Now, I will tell you and I just messed up my whole deck. So my angel card deck is all upside down, and it can't tell because they're kind of similar. But on my side, they're all crazy. So I normally do this and go, yes, I have everything in order, but I don't today. So we'll see how the cards fold out for us, of kind of like getting that inner justification for ourselves. So let's do this one is popping out first. And so this one is retrograde, and this is all about reviewing. So kind of the same information with a Capricorn moon is, where am I looking for justification? Reviewing it with myself? Like, who am I looking for justification from? Who am I looking for that pat on the back from? Who am I looking for that information on? Who is that information? So because this one is still stuck out and it was stuck to the other one, I'm going to do this one. This is Virgo, and this is all about digesting the information. So really, these go kind of really hand in hand together. So this is all about reviewing and then really thinking about it, digesting that information, kind of like really, who am I looking for that justification from? Who am I looking for that information from? That could be bringing in really cool information. So this one is the one that's kind of drawing my attention back here, is the next one. And this is the third house, and this is the communication. So this is a great one to kind of bring up right now, because we're expecting someone else to communicate with us. We're expecting them to communicate, I approve of what you're doing, or pat on the back, or yes, you're doing a great job, or whatever it is. But we have to communicate that to ourselves. We have to communicate that to us, not waiting for someone else to do it. It's one of those, allowing that energy to come forward, allowing that communication for ourselves. Because if we're looking for it from the outside world, we should be giving it to ourselves first. Really important message there. I thank you so much for joining me today, and I know that we'll be talking again soon.